2028 Flag Olympics. It'll be in LA.
Bring it on. I'm ready for it.
Let's go.
Man, sign me up. If I have a chance to go compete for the country, win a gold medal, like, come on, who would turn that down?
Welcome to the Schultz Report, presented by Fanatics Sportsbook. I'm your host, NFL insider Jordan Schultz. We have a lot to talk about after a pivotal weekend for many teams across the league. Keyshawn Johnson will be tapping in to talk about what he's seeing around the NFL, and Ladd McConkey, Chargers standout wide receiver and two-time national champion at Georgia, will be joining us to talk about his journey from the Bulldogs to the Bolts. Lock in and let's go. Hey all, through my partnership with Fanatics Sportsbook, you have heard me talk about FanCash. FanCash is the ultimate sports currency. From bets to tickets to memorabilia and one-of-a-kind experiences, FanCash unlocks the world of Fanatics. And now every week, I'm working with my partners at Fanatics Sportsbook to give $50 in FanCash to 4 lucky followers. Look out for the posts on my X every Saturday or Sunday morning for your chance to win FanCash to use on jerseys, bonus bets, and more. Fanatics Sportsbook, winning hits different here. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Massachusetts, call 800-327-5050. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. And Maryland, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Once again, we're starting the show with a franchise that cannot keep itself out of the headlines, the New York Jets. They're benching Justin Fields in favor of Tyrod Taylor for their matchup in Baltimore this Sunday, Week 12. So I don't think it's been the season Justin Fields wanted, but the context matters. He hasn't had Garrett Wilson for most of these past several games. He's dealt with criticism from people inside his own building. It's been a tough year with all of that in the mix. Is there blame on Fields? Yes, 100% there is. But this isn't a situation where you just throw him away and never hear from him again. I think he's likely to part ways with the Jets after the season, and he'll get another opportunity, potentially as a bridge quarterback somewhere, maybe like a Mac Jones in San Francisco, or in a job potentially where he can compete like Daniel Jones did in Indy. But given the age, the pedigree, the overall skill set, make no mistake, this is not the end for Justin Fields. Shedeur Sanders made his much-anticipated and much-talked-about debut on Sunday in a loss to the Baltimore Ravens. So my take on Shedeur is, look, he struggled 4 of 16, threw a pick, but really, to me, his struggles are not on him, at least not entirely. When you think back to the preseason training camp, Sanders never had the opportunity to get first-team reps. And all due respect to Kevin Stefanski, who's a 2-time Coach of the Year, but you have to prepare your guys, especially your young quarterbacks, for success. And if Dillon Gabriel, your rookie 3rd rounder, is going to get first-team reps, then your rookie 5th rounder, Shedeur, should have the same opportunity. Now, to be fair, in the preseason, there were 4 quarterbacks there. It wasn't just Sanders and Gabriel. It was also Joe Flacco, who's been traded to the Bengals, and it was Kenny Pickett, who's been traded to the Raiders. So there were a lot of mouths to feed, so to speak, but you have to give your guy an opportunity, and clearly the lack of reps with the first-team offense, the receivers, the tight ends, the offensive line, was a big part of Sanders struggling in his debut. Now, despite his struggles, to his credit, I thought Sanders had a very classy post-game press conference where he basically said to the fans, I appreciate all the love, I appreciate all the 12 jerseys, but it doesn't help the team when you're basically chanting my name when Dillon Gabriel is still under center.
When Dillon out there playing and all that, I appreciate the fans, I appreciate everybody, but I'm a good person overall, so I don't really like him not feeling comfortable, confident, when he get out there. So it puts everything in a tough spot, and it's not helping the team. That could be taken as, okay, I'm being a distraction, even though I ain't doing that.
So Week 12, the Browns play at the Raiders, another team struggling. It will be the Shedeur Sanders show in Vegas. I mentioned Stefanski, a 2-time Coach of the Year. I didn't mention Andrew Berry, the GM. I believe that Berry is safe. I think Stefanski is okay, but if they continue to struggle at this rate, the second half, or really the last stretch of this season, then I think he's a name to watch. And the problem with potentially firing someone like Stefanski is that he is very well regarded across the league, and you know full well that if you let him go, he'll have no problem getting another head coaching gig. Maybe it's with the Giants, who's certainly been linked to him. Maybe it's with somewhere else. But the bottom line is Stefanski would have a job very quickly, and that makes it harder to let him go. The Jacksonville Jaguars are simply getting it done, as evidenced by their convincing 35-6 win in LA against the Chargers. This is the case of a team led by a first-year administration that has an identity and a clear-cut game plan, as well as an understanding of how to set up the team for success. This is also a team that went 4-13 last year, with people quick to call Trevor Lawrence a bust. But now Liam Cohen, the first-year head coach, has told the team to, quote, let it loose, and they're doing just that. Speaking of Cohen, he is an offensive coach. He's a quarterback guru. He had Will Levis at Kentucky, obviously did wonders for Baker Mayfield in Tampa, but he's still learning what Trevor Lawrence is. And that's the beauty of this team if I think about the rest of the season, because their identity is actually defensively. This is a prolific defense that has some stars, some real stars. Eric Armstead, Devin Lloyd, Jordan Lewis is playing great, Josh Hines-Allen. They're going to consistently keep teams off the board. So when you think about Trevor Lawrence and what he can bring to the table, the last 7 games of the season, which are relatively favorable, I think there's a real opportunity to go 4-3. Jacksonville has a chance to really peak going into the playoffs. So I'm very bullish on Liam Cohen. I'm bullish on the whole organization completely transforming itself from what was essentially the laughingstock of the NFL the last 2 decades to what I think is a bona fide playoff team and roster moving forward. From one team that's turning the corner to 2 teams that are going in a different direction. First, the Atlanta Falcons. Losers of 5 straight, things got much worse for the Falcons, losing potentially for the season quarterback Michael Penix Jr. due to a knee injury, not to mention losing star receiver Drake London for at least a week with a sprained PCL. But big picture, I think what's so frustrating is that on paper, this Falcons team is very good. On paper, this is a playoff roster. They haven't been disciplined enough, and I think they have been too predictable offensively. I like Zach Robinson, the OC. I like Raheem Morris, the head coach. But you're sitting at 3-7, and you're seeing what Carolina's doing in the division. You're seeing Tampa Bay. You should be there as well. The team is that talented. And considering the long-term significance, potentially, of Penix being out, you have to wonder, is this a tenable situation in Atlanta? Speaking of not tenable, the New Orleans Saints. In an interview with Jeff Duncan of NOLA.com, Saints owner Gail Benson flat out said that calls for GM Mickey Loomis's job are, quote, ridiculous, and that, quote, he's doing a great job. All due respect to Mickey Loomis, the last I checked, he's not doing a great job. They haven't made the playoffs since Drew Brees left. That's going on 6 years. They have been downright awful. They've missed on a ton of draft picks, and quite frankly, the franchise hasn't been relevant for a very long time. It's not just about winning and losing. There's a relevancy that the Saints had under both Brees and Sean Payton that has been lost. Now, I like first-year head coach Kellen Moore. I've always liked Tyler Shuck, the rookie quarterback. But if you look at the roster, at critical positions, it is bare, it is devoid of talent. With New Orleans' awful cap situation and the lack of talent, and it's not like they've stockpiled picks, there's nothing to say the Saints are going to have anything changed anytime soon. The bottom line is Mickey Loomis is the longest tenured GM in the NFL, and the reason that's so significant is that I'm here to tell you, he has full autonomy. Gail Benson basically told us the same thing. He's had full autonomy, and very few GMs have the comfort level to operate under those circumstances. Loomis has done it for 23 years, and with no end in sight, there's no reason for me to tell you things are going to change in New Orleans. Look, I'm not here to call for someone's job or unnecessarily criticize. What I am here to tell you is that the Saints have not been good for a long time. You can't argue with the facts. You can't argue with the record. And Mickey Loomis has been at the forefront of that entire run. And speaking of bad teams, which 2 or less win team do I actually feel has the most to look forward to? This is a list that includes the Jets, Browns, Titans, Raiders, Giants, and of course, the Saints that we just talked about. Now, in my opinion, we could go a lot of different directions here. Both the Giants and Titans have their quarterbacks in Jackson Dart and Cam Ward. But I'm going to take a different direction. I'm going to take a flyer on the New York Jets. That's right. I'm all in on the future of the New York Jets. With Aaron Glenn at the helm, I believe in what he's going to accomplish because I believe in him, not only as a coach, but as a leader. And that matters a lot when you're talking about an organization that has not had one for a long time. After trading both Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams at the deadline, the Jets are now armed with a league-leading 8 first and second round picks in both the 26 and 27 drafts combined. You think about what that type of draft capital can give you. Not only premium players, but you could do what Dallas just did and potentially package a couple of those picks to go out and get another elite player, offensively or defensively. So what does all this mean? They're going to have some critical decisions to make. I don't think Justin Fields will be back next season. They also have Breece Hall, their star running back, who's set to become a free agent. That's another massive decision. So Fields, Hall, probably get another wide receiver opposite of Garrett Wilson. But I still feel like with all of those picks and Aaron Glenn, again, at the helm, the Jets have the most upside of any of these 2-win teams moving forward. So call me crazy because I'm taking the New York Jets over the New York Giants, the team they share a stadium with, who clearly have a cornerstone quarterback in Jackson Dart, a superstar wide receiver in Malik Neighbors, and what appears to be a bona fide runner in Cam Scadaboo. So let's probably revisit this in a year or two, but I am rolling with the Jets. Now let's bring in a man who, according to his IMDb page, is a writer, producer, and an actor, Mr. Keyshawn Johnson.
Oh, so I'm lying now. I've never
Are you
done
like
any
a
of those
regular
things, right,
Denzel
Jordan?
or what?
Small little roles and little things, just trying to be like you. That's all.
I could have seen you in a movie like a Training Day, like a big LA movie.
I possibly could have pulled that off. Possibly. We'll see. There's a lot of life hopefully left in me, so we'll see.
You could have played one of the corrupt cops.
Oh God, well I got to be a corrupt cop.
I think you would have played that very well. Or you could have played Snoop's part in the wheelchair.
Oh God, will you move on with the games now?
Travis Kelce, he refused to talk to the media after the Chiefs lost to Denver. What do you make of that? To me, I didn't have any problem with it, but I saw, of course, all the trolls on social.
It's understanding for an athlete to not want to be bogged with a bunch of questions right after a tough loss. And you've probably been in this situation now 5 or 6 times this year alone because you have 5 losses and it's been tough. It's a tough year. So I understand why he did not want to talk to him. But at the same time, I do appreciate the media trying to do their job. And they should be able to understand him as a player of feeling a certain type of way and not wanting to have a conversation about what just took place on the field. And so I'm kind of like okay with it. Just don't make it a habit to where every single game that you lose, you don't want to talk to them. But when you have 7 catches, 130 and 2 touchdowns and you win, you waiting for them to come to your locker.
Yeah, see, I didn't have a problem with it because I think there needs to be a human element to this. And if a guy is in a bad place and says, I can't do it today, then I'm okay with it. But yeah, it shouldn't be a habit. The teams that need to know if you're buying, Chicago and San Francisco. Let's start with the Bears.
Both of them. Both of them.
You like both?
You think, yeah, you got to think of it this way. There's every single year, there's a team that comes out of nowhere. We saw the Washington Commanders do it a year ago.
Yeah.
There's a team that there's always question marks about. What are they going to be? We're looking at the New England Patriots, right? Same sort of thing. Yeah, they got Vrabel, but oh my God. Oh my goodness. Drake May's an MVP candidate. There's always a team. Also, you got to remember that head coach is from that division. He understands Minnesota. He understands Detroit. He understands the Green Bay Packers. So he's going to be in that and around the mix with the Chicago Bears. And they're not winning. They're not winning in, I guess, glowing fashion, right? It's not glaring. Yeah. It's not. It's like, oh, they're going to win. They won. And that's a lot to do with the history over the last several years of what they look like. Now you start to see this is the team where we're now in week 13. I believe it's the week 13.
Week 12.
Okay, so we're headed into week 12. By the time you get to week 12, you should know what everybody looks like in the NFL. You should see the teams that are going to be where they're going to be in the end and who's going to fight. You should know those sort of things. And I think they know what type of team they have. What you see is what they're going to be at the end of the season. They're not going to all of a sudden take a step back to a whole nother degree. This is the way they're going to win. This is how they're going to look. And they're getting it done in a pretty good fashion. Now, as far as San Francisco goes, you had Mac Jones holding it together for several games.
He did.
Now you can see, based on Arizona's game in San Francisco, what the offense at Mac Jones was, but also how Brock Purdy was able to take over, and they're hitting on all cylinders. The ball's out fast. You can just see it. You can see why he ran the offense the way that he did, and why Mac Jones ran it the way that he did. Now the defense under Robert Saleh has gotten better, and they certainly are in the mix. I don't know if they'll win the division,
No.
but they'll probably wind up in the playoffs.
Go back to Chicago for a second, because you obviously saw a lot of Caleb Williams. Have you seen him do or morph into something more this season?
He's the same guy that was at USC. He's cut down on some of the mistakes. He's not taking a lot of the unnecessary chances that he were early on in his career, a year ago, so to speak, or even earlier in this season. When it's not there, he's not forcing it. And I think a lot of that is by play design and by the coach who's in his ear coaching him and letting him know it's okay to take the easy money. Let the easy money work for you. Many quarterbacks that we glorified in the National Football League for many years took the easy money. But we never said that. We just didn't want to say it for whatever reason. We wanted to make it feel a certain way. And if we want to make him feel a certain way, we could say, oh my God, he's lights out. Look at this. Instead of saying, they're coming along, we could boost him up. But if I'm Caleb Williams and I'm Ben Johnson, I don't want the media to boost my guy up. Keep him right where he's at. Keep him right where he's at. And let him keep doing what he's doing.
Seattle, the LA game was brutal.
Was it really brutal, or what? Or did they just lose?
Here's the good news: the defense gave up 21 points, but 2 of those were on
And
a
they still
short
almost
field,
won.
and they played really
And they
well.
almost won. Even the quarterback is crazy as fans and people can be, and he threw 4 interceptions. 2 of them was on him.
Probably
2
right.
of them
Yeah.
were not on him.
Yeah.
So you always discount, Jordan, interceptions. If a guy throws 10, he probably only really threw 5, because there's a lot of things that go on the field that the eyeballs, the people that don't really understand, don't see. So when the first interception, for instance, he couldn't step into the throw. He could either eat it or try to throw it and get enough on it, which he did, but the offensive lineman was sitting in his lap. So he couldn't step into the throw to give it his all. So it was an easy interception for the guy to drive on. Okay, so when you start to look at those sort of things, you say to yourself, okay, that's correctable, that's fixable. So I don't worry about him coming back this week against Tennessee Titans and throwing 4 interceptions. I don't worry about that. I still think Seattle is a very formidable opponent in the NFC.
And do you think JSN's the best receiver in the league, or you still think it's Jamar?
JSN is an MS, right, on that field. He really is. You can't argue with his success. But as far as ranking receivers and things of that nature, all of them are interchangeable.
They're all
Jordan,
elite.
they really are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all elite, but he's doing a pretty good job to be such a young receiver. Like he's really out there cooking, especially when they know you're getting the football.
Let's play a game, Key, of which team loses first.
What makes you think I want to play a game?
You know, I have NFL Blitz here if you ever came to studio, instead of being in your bougie
What's the
LA
game?
apartment or house.
Apartment?
House. I'm so used to New York, you know.
No, I understand.
You know, you're
understand.
just sitting there
So
in Southern
what's the
California
game?
at 77 degrees.
Which,
You know.
no, it's not. It's actually in the 50s and it's raining.
Oh, it's more like
It's been
Seattle
raining
then.
for 6 days straight. It's gonna be a 6-dayer straight.
All due respect to the Keyshawn Johnson Doppler radar system. Keyshawn Johnson Doppler radar. I do want to play a game. One game. Can we play one game?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
We have 2 teams riding 8-game win streaks, Denver and New England. Who loses first? The Pats' next 5 are Cincinnati, the Giants, the Bills, Ravens, and Jets. And Denver has Commanders, Raiders, Packers, Jaguars, Chiefs.
Where is the Pats Baltimore game?
In Baltimore. Ravens, flock.
Okay. So I'm going to say, okay, where's the Denver Green Bay game?
That's in Denver.
I'm going to say the Pats in Baltimore against Lamar Jackson and company. Because
But he's not
remember
playing
now,
great right now.
now that's okay. You're talking several weeks from now. The guy just came off a hamstring a week ago.
Oh, a couple weeks, yeah.
That's okay. That's okay, though, because they play several weeks from now, not next week, right? So when you look at next week,
they play in a month.
Baltimore Ravens play the New York Jets. They play a month from now. Whatever little rust and comfortability he needs to get, he can get there. Here's why I take that and say they can lose or that's their first loss, is because Baltimore is back in the mix in the division now.
Yeah, they won
no
4
Aaron
straight.
Rodgers, possibly.
Yeah, they're right there.
4 straight. There's maybe no Aaron Rodgers at the Pittsburgh. Cincinnati, obviously, and Cleveland are bye-byes. So it's a 2-team race. And they still have to play Pittsburgh. So now when you look at that, you sit there and you say, okay, that's the team. Where Denver is still, no matter what we think, they still got to play the Chargers. They got to go to a Green Bay.
At Kansas City.
At Kansas City. Kansas City, for all we know, 5-5 is a tough deal, but they're going to fight. You got that quarterback, and they're going to fight. Speaking of that quarterback, I can't believe he threw that ball the other night.
Oh, the one in the red zone?
Yeah. They're driving down. Oh, God. What are you doing, Patrick? I just, as soon as he let it go, I said, he throwing a pick. Jeez. Like, you can't do that.
I don't know how much you've seen yet of Travion Henderson. He had 5 touchdowns in 5 days. That offense was really good. But now, man, this is what we've been waiting for because he is that talented.
If they can win the division, which I believe they are going to, because I'm not in love with Buffalo, they're going to be a tough out in the AFC. Because if they win it, they're going to have home field advantage throughout the playoffs, I'm sure. Because Kansas City won't get it. Chargers aren't going to get it.
I mean, it's really right now between Denver and New England.
What about the Colts?
Colts play at KC this week.
I'm taking KC in this one.
Yeah, let me rephrase the question and say, does any team have a higher upside than New England, at least offensively?
I would say Kansas City and Indy, those 2 teams. Because Indy just got they got the running back, they got a couple of nice receivers, they got a quarterback who, if he doesn't get the ball to the other team, they're going to be okay.
And the tight end is terrific.
And the tight end is ridiculous from Penn State, Warren. But Kansas City has shown us this type of behavior before, where they don't look great, they lose some games, everybody starts to question them, and then Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, they magically come up with a different style of play, and they go on a roll. I've seen it before, so I'm not ready to count them all the way out. But they just got to be careful.
Last question. Justin Fields, do you think he's played his final game as a Jet?
Being benched for Tyrod Taylor tells me that there's some serious conversations going on in the building about how to move forward with Justin Fields. It's not good. It's not good. To answer your question, I do believe that he played his last and final game as a New York Jet. I don't believe he'll be their quarterback. I don't believe. Let's put it this way. Let me scratch that. I don't believe he'll be the quarterback next year because he can still play again this year. They didn't. It's not like they're saying he'll never play this year. But I think he's played his last season with the New York Jets. And if you remember last week, I mentioned a certain quarterback and you went crazy. Joe Burrow. I wasn't saying Joe Burrow necessarily. I'm just saying they're going to go get one of those quarterbacks that's hovering around that can still play, just like Indianapolis did with Daniel Jones, just like they tried to do with Justin Fields. And I believe they'll still probably try to draft a quarterback as well.
I actually said earlier in the show that of all the 2-loss teams, there's 5 of them, including the Giants, who have a quarterback. I said I believe most in the Jets. And the 2 reasons are I really believe in Aaron Glenn, and they have 8 picks.
Yes.
And they have 8 picks the next 2 years in the first 2 rounds. I mean, they're just a boatload of picks and a head coach I think we both believe in.
The one quarterback in college that I like is the Mendoza kid from Indiana. I like him. I like the Moore kid from Oregon.
Dante Moore, yeah, but
those are probably my 2 favorite right now.
There's a chance neither one of those guys go in the top 5, top 10. It's possible.
It doesn't matter. You don't have to go in the top 10 to be successful.
Well, look at Jackson Dart.
You don't have to. People get caught up and enamored with guys going high in the first round. There's many quarterbacks and players that have gone in the middle, the late first round, and even into the other rounds that have turned into Hall of Famers and very successful NFL players. Just because, you look at some of the number 1 picks overall, you talk about the quarterback position, the Arizona Cardinals are in a conundrum right now, right? They got a quarterback they paid a boatload of money to that they put on IR, wink, wink. So go figure, is he going to be playing third base for the Oakland A's or the Vegas A's here in the next couple of years? So you start to think about those sort of things. You look at Bryce Young, although Bryce Young threw for 448 yards against Atlanta, which Atlanta, I don't even know what that organization and that team think half the time. He went out there and ran them in the ground. But his overall career in the NFL as the number 1 overall pick at the quarterback position hasn't been a happy trail, so to speak. So you don't always have to take a guy in the top 5 picks at quarterback to be successful.
Final question, non-football. Would you rather question?
Yeah, what?
Would you rather eat a 64-ounce steak or
oh, God.
Would you rather swim with sharks?
I'd rather eat the steak.
64 ounces, you might be dead after that.
Is that really big?
64 ounces, you can't imagine how much steak that is. Why don't you go in a cage diving situation and have a blast? Get some hammerheads.
No, I'd rather eat the steak.
Well, I've had dinner with you. I know you can eat, but you can't eat as much as me.
Slow bites. Nice and easy, thin, slow.
Maybe have a little Barolo to wash it down.
I got to really look at it and see what it, because if you're talking tomahawk, the bone might be X amount of ounces in itself.
This is not a tomahawk. I don't eat meat, so I don't even know what I'm talking about. But I know a tomahawk's a big bone. We're not talking about that.
Yeah. Okay.
Key, I love you, buddy. Thanks for coming on, as always.
All right, we'll talk.
Let's welcome to the show 2-time national champion, Mr. Georgia football, and LA Chargers standout wide receiver, Ladd McConkey. Ladd, such a pleasure, man. Thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, of course. Thank you for having me.
We were just talking about you living in LA, transitioning from Georgia. Before we get into football, what was the transition like going from the South to the West Coast and just in general off the field?
Honestly, it's been good. When I first got drafted, when the Chargers called, I was like, oh, geez, I'm about to go to the big city. I'm about to be in LA. I don't know what I'm going to do. Be from Chatsworth. But no, I'm like in Redondo. So it's a cool spot. People were cool. Neighbors are cool. Everybody showed great hospitality. So it's been good. It's not what I expected because I thought I was going to be, downtown LA.
Right, of course.
But it's good.
Are you getting recognized more and more in LA?
Every now and then. I have a lot more in Georgia than LA for sure.
In Georgia, right. So if you walk around Athens, what's it like?
I mean, there'll be some people notice you for sure. Get some Go Dogs. Just say what's up. But everybody was great. It was a cool time.
You won a lot at Georgia, including a couple titles. What did the transition to the NFL, having that experience, coming from such a dominant program, what did that do for you?
I think, just being at Georgia, like having Coach Smart, like you said, we just had a winning culture. So it's like people know how to win. You expect to win. And I mean, that was the same thing when I got to the league. I'm trying to win every single game. I don't care what, people say. It's like, oh, you can't win them all in the league.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm trying to. I want to. I hate losing. I'm a sore loser. So I feel like just that winning culture and that mindset that I had, I think it would help me, transition over.
Similarities between Coach Smart and Coach Harbaugh?
They're definitely different in a lot of ways. But I think the biggest thing is they're both winners. Like they both rally their teams and like really get everybody to buy in and like love one another and play for each other. And I think they both have a special talent of that. So, shit, I'm pretty lucky. I've had two pretty good coaches.
Oh, amazing. We had Deion Henley on, and he mentioned to me that Coach Harbaugh is a big Zen guy.
Yeah, he'll have him. You'll see him in his pocket. I think he's always carrying one around. He'll be in the team meeting. You'll see one creeping down a little bit.
How would you describe Coach Harbaugh's style?
The same every day. He's
Every day.
consistent. He's consistent. He's got the same pants on, same hoodie, same hat. He's gonna have his cleats on. Yeah, so consistent. I think that's a great word for it.
What was your first interaction and sort of how have you been able to learn from Keenan Allen?
Oh man, Keenan's been huge for me. It's crazy because he came back to the Charger or whatever, but I felt like he like welcomed me with open arms because he's just been there for so long and like he didn't like try to keep his knowledge or like keep stuff from me. He's always willing to help. We're talking in the middle of the games, practice. Hey, what'd you see? Hey, what can I do on this route? So man, I'm lucky I'm able to play with Keenan Allen. So hope he plays for a few more years with us too.
Anything in particular that you feel like he really helped you with?
Oh yeah, he's just so decisive. Like you see him running routes, and it's like he just knows. He knows when he can put some flavor on it, and he knows when he can just run and rip it. And it's like you see him run and just rip a turn. You're like, okay, well, let me just try that. Like I don't always have to boom, 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 boom at the top. Like I can just stick and go. And he creates separation, And he's not the fastest. He's not going to just burn you with speed, but somehow he always gets people to sell a vertical. Like he's driving vertical and stick his foot in the ground, come open, and then shoot. Once the ball's in there, he's special.
Lad, you set the franchise rookie record for most receptions and most receiving yards, as well as the NFL rookie single game playoff record for receiving yards. Were you anticipating such a dominant year one in the pros?
I don't know. I believed myself. I knew what I could do, but I didn't really set many expectations going into the season. I was just like, man, when the ball comes my way, I just got to make some plays. And I feel like, I kind of started out a little slow, didn't have, as many yards, many catches. And I feel like I really kind of developed in that role. Coaches started trusting me more, started, scheming me up, getting some one-on-one matchups and started taking advantage of it. So I feel like I got so much better as the year went on. So I don't know, expect is the right word, but definitely believed in myself.
Did you have one of those welcome to the NFL moments that you'll never forget?
Yeah, it's not like, I wouldn't say it's like a hit or anything, but I was in at practice and Coach Harbaugh does wise words. So he like picks somebody to talk to the team every day after practice. He called Khalil Mack up there. And I'm like, I'm on the field with him. I'm on the same team as Khalil Mack. Like that, it was insane to me. It felt like it was my dang uncle or somebody up there talking to me. But that was a cool moment.
A lot of guys will say a big hit or a dope stadium. So when you saw, you're like, Khalil Mack is my teammate.
Yeah.
And he's speaking to us.
Yeah.
You were like, wow.
Yeah, Hall of Famer. Like, what else can you expect? Like, I was kind of starstruck. I can't lie.
You played a lot of different positions in high school, right? You're quarterback, receiver. I have a running back, DB, return specialist. When did you make the decision, lad, to really stick to wideout?
When I would go to camps and stuff, like trying to get recruited, I would always go as a receiver. I knew that was probably the ultimate goal. I love quarterback. I love having the ball in my hands. I don't have the strongest arm accuracy. I can do it, but if I had to throw a deep ball, I don't know if I got that. So I knew I was gonna play receiver, but it was cool. I had a couple offers to go play quarterback.
A little Julian Edelman type of situation.
Yeah, for sure.
Where were the quarterback offers?
West Point said I could go play.
Wow.
Kennesaw State. So a lot of option schools.
Did you think about it at all, especially at West Point?
No. I went on an official visit. It was really cool. It was awesome to just experience it.
Yeah, that's an incredible place.
Yeah, but I was like, it's just not for me.
Yeah. Wait, so your game was you were basically a scrambler and you could throw like a good 20-yard ball, but you couldn't throw deep.
Oh, okay. 20.
40. I mean, obviously you weren't a Justin Herbert.
I wasn't ripping 20-yard out routes, but I could throw it up. I could throw a post, let my receivers go get it. But no, as soon as something broke down, I'm scrambling. I'm reversing field as many times as I can. It was fun. It was awesome.
What was the high school? How did you guys do your senior year?
Senior year, won our region and made it the third round of the playoffs.
Wow.
So yeah, we ended up going to Savannah. Got beat by Jenkins. They beat us pretty bad, but it was cool.
So the reason I asked that is like, what point did you really start to think like I could be a high major, like Power 4, Power 5 type of player?
I didn't get my first offer until going into my senior year.
That's
Actually,
late.
and then I didn't get my offer from Georgia till January 20th of my senior year, signed February 5th. So it was super late. I had a bunch of FCS schools, like Tennessee, Chattanooga, Mercer, schools like that. And don't get me wrong, those are great schools. But I think credit to my family, my brother, he was like, hey, dude, just wait it out. Like, what's wrong with waiting now? Like, you're always going to have them in your back pocket. Something bigger comes around, which they believed me. I believed I could go play at a bigger school. And then Georgia came, jumped on it. Played scout team that first year. Thought I was killing them, ready to play then, but that was definitely a great decision for me. And then, once I got on the field, I feel like I made the most of it, didn't come off.
How about top 5 Georgia Bulldogs?
All right, let's go. Let's go Herschel Walker.
Herschel Walker, I think, is like, he has to, yeah.
Yeah, you got to be. Herschel Walker, Stetson Bennett, Brock Bowers. Let's go Coach Smart.
I love
it. Not as a player.
Okay.
Man, just because recency bias, Trayvon, number 1 overall.
Yeah.
Let's go Trayvon.
There's no AJ Green on that list.
I could play AJ Green in there, show some receiver love, but I like my 5. Those are solid 5. I mean,
that's a damn good 5.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Georgia legends. I could go a bunch of different ways with that.
How about top 5 NFL wide receivers?
I think Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra. There's so many. I know I'm gonna leave people. out. I mean, it's hard to not go JSN right now. He's killing it.
Yeah.
Puka. Yeah, Puka's playing out of his mind too. So
that's a damn good list.
That's a good 5. I like that 5.
You're not too far off though, lad.
One day, we'll get there.
You also were a 3-star basketball player. I played hoops in college. That was my game. First question is, what did basketball do for you, football wise, if anything?
First of all, basketball was my first love. I thought I was going to play basketball all the way up until, I don't know, sophomore, junior year of high school, and then I realized, okay, I should probably try the football route. But no, it just I feel like as a young kid, you just play every sport. It keeps you athletic.
Yes.
If you just go play football and just lift weights and get big and strong and stiff, I think that's not good for you. So play every sport, and I think it just kept me athletic, kept me in shape. And then, just body control, all that stuff. So,
what would you say the Lad McConkey NBA comp would be? Who reminds you the most of you?
I have no idea.
Well, were you a scorer, a facilitator?
I could score. I feel like for my area, I was more athletic than a lot of people. I wasn't very consistent shooting the ball that well, so I could shoot. But I wasn't always consistent with it.
Were you dunking on people?
Oh no, I'm not dunking. I'm getting to the rim though. I'm getting to the rim, finishing, dishing it off. We had Luke Griffin. He went to Missouri.
Yeah.
Big boy, played O-line, so he was easy to feed it to. If I missed it, he got the rebound on the backside. So I don't know. I'm gonna think about that one.
Think about it because and a lot of guys are very unrealistic. They'll be like, yeah, I was like D Wade or I was Ray Allen.
I was prime D Rose basically.
Yeah. We asked T Higgins and he said he was KD. I was like, T. KD's 7'1".
That's crazy.
What about the 2028 Flag Olympics? It'll be in LA.
Yeah, bring it on. I'm ready for it.
Let's go.
Man, sign me up. I've said this. I've said it multiple times. If I have a chance to go compete for the country, win a gold medal, come on, who would turn that down? So
yeah,
if we're able to play in it, sign me up.
That would be pretty dope. Yeah,
that'd be sick.
And it's in LA. I mean,
yeah. Who better else to get then? Come get me.
Favorite uniform combo? Because you guys, might have the best in the league.
Man, the Navy ones are sick. Yeah, we had the Navy helmet this year. Yeah, the Navy.
So you love the Navies.
Mm-hmm.
And the powder blue is you're so used to it now.
I feel like if that was our alternate, then whichever one our alternate was probably our favorite.
When you think back to your younger self at North Murray High, what do you think that younger self, a younger version of you, would be most proud of today?
Honestly, he'd be most proud of just me staying true to who I am, and not I'm in the NFL, whatever, drafted LA, but I feel like I'm the same guy as I was back then. Still got all my same boys from high school. My family, obviously, that comes first. And so, yeah, just staying true to who I am. I think he'd be most proud of that.
When you think back there and now when you think forward, basically the opposite question is, what would you want? This is way down the road. I know you're only 24, but what would you want your legacy to be?
I think for me, obviously, you can sit up here and say great player, whatever, great route runner, but I just want to be a guy that like really shows up and is there day in, day out. Like whether that's on the field, being a teammate, if they call me, they need me, whatever. I think a guy that just positive energy can be there for somebody, and just a good support system for people.
What kind of football does Coach Harbaugh throw? Is it catchable?
He was actually throwing. We were doing pat and go.
Yeah.
Before the game. I don't know if he still has the arm strength. He was throwing those PI balls. It's like you got to go back through the defense.
Yeah. you got to come back to it.
Yeah, you got to go back and get it. But he gives it all he's got. He's out there catching before getting some catches in. So yeah, that's how it's summed up.
Doesn't have a great arm, but still relatively accurate.
Oh yeah, he can be accurate. He gets it in the vicinity. You got to throw it up, give your playmakers a chance. So that's what he's doing.
And how would you describe Justin Herbert's arm?
Elite for any and every throw. Justin's got it.
Hulk with an arm.
Oh, 100%. He's over there. We're on a special teams period. And he's just ripping 20-yard out, just boom, 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 hitting you in the face every single time. It's like, yeah, he's special.
Is it ever too fast?
No. It's not too fast. But he does a good job of like being able to layer the ball.
It.
Like he can knows when he can speed it up and knows when he doesn't have to. So, there'll be times if you're sitting there like pregame, or I guess not pregame, but like before we go out on a series when you're warming up, I'm like, let me go get a couple catches in. Like, I got to get used to it.
Because it's on you so fast.
It's on you quick, yeah, for sure. And it doesn't always like look like it's coming off of his hand like that, and then it just jumps on you quick.
Do people ever say to you like, "Thanks for helping my fantasy team"?
All the time. Literally, I see people like, "Oh, dude, I got you on my fantasy." I'm like, "Hey, I'm giving you my all every single week. I promise you that."
I'm here for you.
Hey, I'm trying to score just as many points. I promise you.
Constantly, people are saying to you, like, "Thank you so much. A great game."
It can definitely be the other way around.
Oh, other way around. I need more.
Yeah, I need more. Come on, hey, I need you to lock in this week, lad. I'm like, hey, I got you.
Are there any wide receivers who you grew up studying or really tried to emulate, or even today that you love to watch as a way to improve?
It's like crazy because like we talked about me playing quarterback and everything. So I grew up like not really like watching receivers like that. But I guess someone like I love to watch. And I don't know if it's like I want to emulate my game necessarily, but I just love the way he plays. That's like put him in my top 5. Like if we're ever like playing a team that they played, I'm watching the lines because I just want to see how he plays, how he blocks in the run game, how he's physical, just playing hard. I don't know. I just love his game.
I could see quite a few similarities. Also, like just the toughness factor that you both have, and I've seen that. I know. I don't know how much you work on it, but like you do put a lot into blocking, and he does as well.
If you didn't block at Georgia, you didn't play. So like that's just kind of instilled in me. And then Sanjay, our receiver coach, Giro, OC, they expect a lot of you out of the receiver in the run game. So you got to get the job done. It's part of it.
Is there anything about Coach Smart that might surprise people? Like I've asked Alabama guys about Saban. They always say like he's a lot funnier than people think. What about Coach Smart?
You see the intense side of Coach Smart, screaming at practice, pregame speeches, all that. But like when you're off the field, like Coach Smart's just a regular guy. Like he can cut up, he can have fun. So that's something I always appreciated about him. He's always there to, give a little sly remark and try to take a stab at you and get you going. But it's all love.
Between the hedges, man. That place is special.
Between the hedges.
Sanford Stadium, #1, right?
Oh, 100%. Come on. I miss it. I can't lie. That's one thing I miss. I miss the atmosphere. I do. The dog walk, all that, 96,000. I miss that for sure.
And have you been back since?
I went back one time last year. We played Auburn, which was a cool experience. I got to call the dogs on the field.
So dope.
Yeah, so it was cool.
Well, lad, we really appreciate you taking the time. Such an absolute pleasure to get to know you a little bit. And just thank you, man. It means a lot, and wish you absolutely nothing but the best.
Of course, man. I appreciate you for having me.
And now for our weekly bets presented by Fanatics Sportsbook. As always, this is an either or, and I have not seen these prior to the segment. Bucks plus 6.5 at the Rams. Panthers plus 7 at the Niners. I'm going to take the Panthers coming off a big-time win. Plus 7 at the Niners seems like a lot of points. San Francisco, I feel like there's a little course correction maybe. You know, they had that pretty dominant win over Arizona, and I would feel good about this at like 4 or 5, but 7 I'm not. It's too many points. Ravens minus 13.5 versus the Jets. Seahawks minus 13.5 at the Titans. I will take the Seahawks. I will take the Sea Chickens, my hometown team, laying a monster number against Tennessee, who showed a little bit of life last week against Houston, and then as they've done for most of the season, they couldn't find a way to pull it out. It just, to me, feels like a big-time bounce-back game for Sam Darnold after 4 picks. And then I got the Colts plus 3.5 at the Chiefs, or the Cowboys plus 3.5 versus the Eagles. I'll take the Cowboys getting 3.5 against Philly. This is more to me about liking the Chiefs quite a bit in a bounce-back game at home. But also Philly, to me, this is a monster game for them, and it's also a huge opportunity for Dallas. You go back to week 1, where Dallas almost stole that game on the road when Jalen Carter was kicked out at the beginning. Listen, this is a very intriguing game, one of the most on Sunday. 2 teams that do not like each other, but I trust Dak. Give me 3.5, Dallas versus Eagles. That is it for this week's episode of the Schultz Report. Thank you, as always, to Keyshawn Johnson for checking in, and a big thank you to Chargers standout wide receiver Ladd McConkey for taking the time to join us. He was awesome, and thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and share. We'll see you this weekend.